Sir, thank you, sir.
You introduce yourself.
Sir, I am BIKASH SAHU. I belong to Kenduchar district of Odisha. My mother is a housewife and my father is a lecturer in Odia. I have completed my high school in Ruttaballi Vidyapitha Khordha. Then I have completed my intermediate education in College of Basic Science and Humanities, Bhubaneswar. After that, I have completed the 5-year integrated BSc MSc course in ISR Kolkata, and now I am preparing for the civil services.
Because you have mentioned watching Hindi web series as one of your hobbies, tell me what is the current web series, Hindi web series you have watched?
So recently I have watched the Panchayat season 3.
Okay. So, what is that? How did you find that particular serial? How did you find this series, Panchayat series?
So Panchayat series mainly based on the PRI systems in government of India.
Okay. How it is working? How it is working? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then
How the Panchayat executive officers implemented the different schemes promoting the women empowerment and also against the Sarpanchpati system syndrome in India.
no, but in any case, in the Panchayat Raj system, there would be a panchayat, there would be a sarpanch.
Yes.
The whole concept is when was the panchayat system come up in India? Through which amendment to the constitution?
It is the 73rd amendment in 1992.
1992. So, what does this system envisage? The Panchayat Raj system envisage?
It is providing more power.
How it has brought out a significant change in our democratic governance, the Panchayat Raj system. Have you understood the question?
Yes,
whatever you are comfortable, you speak out. You are a bright guy, so don't worry. You speak up.
It established the democracy at grassroots level.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So therefore, if you have a democracy at the grassroots level, there would be a panchayat, there would be an elected representative.
Yes, sir.
So essentially, in this particular series, it shows the interplay of political forces. It shows the interplay of political forces. Thank you. It shows the interplay of the political forces with the government functionary, bringing out the political slugfest or the political rivalry or political slugfest, to be more specific, that takes place in the panchayats. And also it will give us an idea about the challenges to development in a village. It also showcases the disparity, say, between the urban India and the rural India.
Yes.
Are you getting my point?
Yes,
It is just not. It is not just showing how a government official is functioning. It shows a number of things. Firstly, since 70% of our population, they live in the village.
Yes.
So they didn't have grassroots democracy. So firstly, they now have a grassroots democracy.
Yes.
So there is a grassroots democracy. There is caste politics there. So, and there is also a development deficit also in the villages. In the villages, when we compare with the urban areas, we find huge development disparities in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education, healthcare, basic roads, even the shauchalayas, bathrooms. So in that, so basically it is essentially showing how the panchayat Raj system is actually functioning and how the interplay between government. Tell me, in the Panchayati Raj system that we have, what are the major constraints we find in its functioning? Is it functioning well, or there are areas that need to be developed?
So, although it is working well,
Mhm.
there are some areas where we need to.
Like.
Sir, there is awareness of the government schemes or government programs
Okay.
about the people who are at far-reaching areas like
Okay,
in
so what
hilly
is
areas.
awareness? The
Yes,
second?
sir. Second is development of the infrastructure, basic infrastructure like drinking water.
ଯେ ଗୋଟେ पंचायत राज सिस्टम रो मेन डिफिकल्टी हला the disconnect between the expectation टिके होता है टिके please टिके the disconnect between expectation or the functions that we have given them in the constitution what is the schedule in which the Panchayat Raj functions have been delineated?
11th schedule.
So in the 11th schedule, we have given the functions of the Panchayat Raj and the municipalities.
Yes, sir.
So the biggest difficulty is that between the mandate that we have given to the Panchayat Raj
Yes, sir.
and their economic empowerment,
Yes, sir.
there is a huge gap. Say for instance today the resources that is generated at the panchayat level by them in terms of taxes, in terms of octroi, in terms of all this is just about 7%. So they hugely depend on the state
Yes,
for allocation. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Say for instance supposing we say that Manrega or
Yes.
midday meal scheme, all these programs have to be monitored by Panchayat Raj, but they do not have adequate financial empowerment. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
So those states like Kerala,
Yes.
where state is allocating handsome funds to the panchayats, they are working very very well. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
It is one thing because you will also become a tahsildar and you will also go and see the functioning of these panchayats. So the difficulty, basic difficulty is the developmental challenges, expectations out of panchayats and the allocation that is available to them. Okay.
Yes.
So say many countries like Germany, like the US, there the grassroots democracy is thriving because at the decentralized level they have adequate funds. So therefore education, health, sanitation, complete responsibility the panchayats are able to take because they have so therefore the quality of education also is quite good there.
Yes, sir.
Unlike the system in our many villages and all, though we have education is free, but the quality remains to be quite area of concern.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
getting it?
Yes, sir.
So एटा गोटे तुमको बहुत बढ़िया हबो because तमर एटा गोटे देइछ ताकू गोटे देइछ you given as a hobby. So it can be a very very good area for you
Yes, sir.
to impress them. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
बहुत बढ़िया करछ तो वेब सीरीज देइछ सेटा पंचायत कहइबो
Yes, sir.
पंचायत कहला करी तमर एई सब 73rd amendment आसी गला mismatch बुझल तो
Yes, sir.
सब entire gamut will come so they will know जे तमर गोटे awareness अछि कारण सी जगह तो काम भी करिवो.
Yes, sir.
बुझि परछ न कथा.
Yes, sir.
So सबवेले when we go to an interview board we should see how we are able to connect our strength to our advantage.
Yes,
तमरा
sir.
strength हला तमे सेनवाटा देखि सेटा strength लो.
Yes, sir.
तमे कोन सेटा reflect करूचो सेटा होची. Let me ask you a couple of questions on the current affairs. गोटे ए जो Waqf amendment bill गोटे government had brought in and then there was opposition to that and now it has gone to a standing committee for review. कौन सेटा काहे से bill रे काहे की why it created a controversy? What is the bill and what is the controversy?
Sir, there was an Waqf Act in the 1995 Act.
Very good.
And now the central government take the amendment and introduce the bill.
Okay.
Majorly, the Act provides a provision to establishment of Waqf boards at every state
Okay.
for management of.
That is not the point of dispute. Come to the
Yes.
next point.
Yes, sir.
That is not the point of dispute.
Yes.
Come to the point of dispute, sir.
So the opposition told that there in the new amendment the district magistrate will oversee the Waqf board
Ekdam
management.
spot on. Next, channel.
So
Don't worry. Next.
and also the amendment introduce new members to the board
Like
who are like the women and the Muslim
non-Muslims.
Muslim and non-Muslims.
Muslims are already there.
Yes, sir.
So
Non-Muslim.
you are trying to take away the control of the Muslims
Yes, sir.
and vest the collector
Yes.
with power to oversee. You are allowing women to be part of it, you are allowing non-Muslims to be part of it. So
it.
their autonomy which they were enjoying
Yes, sir.
in giving charity to poor Muslim people,
Yes.
that autonomy has been taken away. Very, very good answer. Tell me another important issue that is going on. There is a demand for caste census
Yes.
in government of Bihar. They conducted a caste census, and many parties, including the Congress, they are saying that if we come to power, then we will introduce this caste census.
Yes.
How would you comment on this? ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନଟା?
Yes, sir. Sir, sir, I believe that there should be.
There is no belief. You get down to brass tacks.
Yes, sir.
Caste reservation ଟା କାହା ବିଷୟରେ ହଉଛି? This caste reservation is for which caste?
Scheduled caste,
No, it is for OBC.
other backward classes.
Not for SC ST. SC
Yes,
ST
sir.
is already there.
Yes, sir.
ST ST reservation is already there on the basis of population.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
ଯେମିତି ଭାରତରେ ଏ ଯୋଉ ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ବେଶୀ ଟ୍ରାଇବାଲ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସୋ ରିଜର୍ଭେସନ ଫର STs as per the population. Issue is for OBC.
Yes.
What is the limit now? What is the limit now for OBC?
For OPC,
27%.
27%.
27%.
Yes.
So Bihar government has done a caste census where they find that 63% are of the OBC category.
Yes, sir.
In the Mandal Commission,
Yes, sir.
though they found the OBC was much more,
Yes, sir.
but it was limited to 27%.
Yes, sir.
ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ?
Yes, sir.
ସୋ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ବିହାରରେ ଏଇଟା ଯୋଉ କହିଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଆମେ ଓବିସିଟାର ଗୋଟେ କାଷ୍ଟ ସେନ୍ସସ୍ କରିକିରି ସୋ वी विल गिव रिजर्वेशन एज पर दी कास्ट से फॉर इंस्टेंस इन बिहार यदि ओबीसी रिजर्वेशनটা 63% हुए and if you add scheduled caste scheduled tribe there, hardly 13% people will get reservation from the general category.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but so this politics is going on. बुझिपार कथाटा?
Yes, sir.
जो caste census is with reference to only OBC.
Yes, sir.
The caste census करियो OBC. OBC is identified on what ground? What are the three criteria for OBC?
Sir, one is economic ground.
Second, education.
Education.
Third is caste.
Yes, sir.
Three criteria. It should be a backward caste.
Yes, sir.
Education level should be 25% less than the average education level.
Yes, sir.
Income level should be less than 25% of the average income level.
Yes, sir.
ताले तमे हो. बुझिपारुछ तो?
Yes, sir.
Be very specific. You are a bright guy, so be very specific. So a basis रे हमें OBC रे determine करूँ.
Yes, sir.
That is not the case. About a recent Supreme Court judgment, they are saying that there should be subgroup within the scheduled caste.
Yes, sir.
कौन से रखो? कौन से judgment है?
Sir, in a recent judgment, Supreme Court held that any state government can sub-categorize the scheduled caste or scheduled tribes, and these
Based on what? Based on what?
based on the based on study and status of the population and status of their economic and socio-economic conditions.
Very good. Very good.
The subcategory who are underprivileged, they
What is
should
the
get.
objective? What is the objective? You are absolutely right. What is the objective for this? Why they want that should be reservation within the scheduled caste?
Sir, in the scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, Supreme Court told that now they are not a homogeneous group.
Okay.
There are some subcaste or subgroups who are underprivileged.
Very good. Extremely good.
They should get.
What is it? No, this fact. There is a second part of the judgment also. There is a second part of the judgment. What does it say? This is one judgment part.
Yes, sir.
The second part of the judgment was?
Sir, from the 7 judges, 4 judges held that the central government should put the non-creamy layer on the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe reservations.
Okay.
on their economic status.
Okay. What is the criminal layer limit now?
Sir, 8 lakh per annum.
8 lakhs. So they are saying that in the OBC you have a creamy layer.
Yes, sir.
Which judgment said that there should be a creamy layer? You are absolutely right.
Indira Saini judgment.
What are the main features of the judgment? Indira Saini judgment.
It's recognized the reservation on backward classes.
OBC, yes.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Second.
It's also put a bar on, or it puts a non-creamy layer on
Bar.
OBC.
Third.
It also suggests that the total reservation should not go beyond 50%.
Excellent. So the government has now given reservation to the general category. What is it called?
Sir, it is EWS or Economic Weaker Section.
So when was this particular reservation introduced?
Sir,
In 2019.
2019.
103. Your answers are excellent.
Because let me ask some questions on geology. Because you know you students of geology. Later question be hearing around geology and geography. You must be knowing that recently we had a devastating cyclonic flood in Kerala, Wayanad area actually.
Yes,
So it led to loss of life and property. And interestingly is that IMD has already predicted such a thing to happen. So where is actually it went wrong actually? Why you couldn't save life, property maybe that's there actually. We can save it, but why couldn't save life as such? What went wrong in it actually? Did you follow my question?
Yes, sir.
That,
So, although there are several provisions to protect the lives, but there are some lacuna, like in the vulnerable zones, there are unsustainable tourism, unsustainable.
I'm not saying.
Yes, sir.
IMD predicted that there is going to be heavy downpour actually, which may lead to flooding actually, and as its consequence of maybe landslides, everything. So you need to act upon. The administration should have acted upon. They should have evacuated people from the low-lying areas, the areas likely to be submerged in the flood. They knew the contours, everything they knew. Probably in case had it been in Odisha, things could have been different. So what went wrong actually? What went wrong with Wayanad administration?
So the people's, the affected area, the people were not evacuated before the landslide, so that the devastation of landslide took many lives.
So do you think the administration is responsible for this mishap? Can you hold the administration to accountable for this mishap to happen?
So, yes, sir, administration is accountable, but not only the administration is accountable, there should be coordination between the people, administration and other forces like
So who has to initiate them? The administration has to coordinate. People don't, yes, people may,
Yes,
only
sir.
when they are submerged, they are flooded, they actually in a sense crisis, then they will seek for help. Otherwise, it is the administration whose business to evacuate, preempt evacuation. They need to go there. What
Yes,
is
sir.
the plan actually?
Actually, before 6 to 7 days, there is prediction of IMD, but the local administration did not took the necessary step, mainly the evacuation process. So that
I think it started with the landslides. As a geologist, what exactly do you see? Can you avoid that? Can you avoid that landslides to happen actually?
yes, sir. we took some mitigative measures to avoid the landslide. Like in the we can check the deforestation and plant forest in the vulnerable zones. We can also put fencings in the loosed unconsolidated rocks, and also we can restrict the huge construction of infrastructures in the vulnerable zones like Himalayan hilly regions and Western Ghat hilly regions. And there should be a early warning system so that people can be evacuated from the vulnerable zones or landslide zones before the occurrence of any landslide or any other natural hazards.
In that case, actually, it was there actually.
Yes, sir.
In Vinad actually, this thing happened actually.
Yes, sir.
Probably the administration could not visualize such a disaster.
Yes.
And technically, like Odisha, we have done extremely well actually.
Yes, sir.
In terms of disaster preparedness. Probably Kerala, as a state as such, was not that prepared. Is it so? Are you admitting it?
Yes, sir. Some extent I admit that, because in last 2-3 cyclones in Odisha proved the zero casualty evacuation process and zero casualty management. But in the ONR there are more than 150 people died during the landslide. So there is some gap or communication gap in between the.
What is the Rift Valley? What is the Rift Valley?
Yes, sir. Sir, Rift Valley, it is the separation of continents, so that there is a rifting of continent, and the rifting of continent where the water can water is.
Where do you find the Rift Valley? Where it is located?
Sir, one of the Rift Valley is in the Godavari Rift Valley. Godavari Rift Valley, and the Narmada Rift Valley is also in India. And in a broader sense, if we see, then the Atlantic Ocean, when the Atlantic Ocean first formed, there is a Rift Valley because of the separation of Northern America from the Eurasia.
दुटा खाली क्वेश्चन पचास बजेट ऊपर है ओडिशा बजेट ऊपर है कौन can you tell me what are the two distinguishing programs in Odisha budget?
Sir, one of the distinguished project is Subhadra Yojana. Second one is implementation of CM Kisan Yojana.
That is not a new scheme, it's
Yes,
a new
sir.
name. I am asking you what are the new two programs?
Sir.
Samruddha Krushak Yojana
Yes, sir. Samruddha Krushak Yojana.
and Odisha Asmita.
Yes, sir.
How much is being allocated for that?
200 crore corpus fund is for Odisha Smith.
500 crores.
Sorry, sir. I will look into it.
500 crores.
Yes, sir.
See, my quick observation about is that you will definitely get it. Okay, you are very thorough.